It is the only navigable lake in the country, and it holds, thanks to its incredible depth, 2% of the world's freshwater reserve. It is so transparent and so deep that staring into it could cause dizziness. It is a paradise for fishermen and ideal for spending unforgettable times in the midst of breathtaking nature. Taiga nomads live in Husvug Natural Reserve. They are Tsatan reindeer herdsmen with Turkish roots and of Tuva culture. They descend from the mountains with their reindeer searching for pastures.
We will stay here for a while, but from time to time we have to move in order to ensure the best pastures for our reindeer. There are 2 or 3 families with approximately 200 or 300 reindeer. The rest of the families have 20 or 30 like us. To the west of the taiga there are another 20 families.
Their tents remind us of North American teepees. Their structure is made of Fitzroy wood beams, and they are covered with skins and canvas. The whole family is involved in erecting the teepees. They can be built quickly and protect its denizens from the winter cold. Even tourists who wish to take part in ancestral customs and learn about one of the last people dedicated to herding reindeer in the world. Lake Husvug is full of surprises. The most ancient of Mongol religious traditions is a form of animism, spirits and divine beings from nature with whom their own specialists communicate. Shamans, seers, healers, magicians of time. And Tuya, the shaman, is one of these intermediaries between souls and human beings. She communicates with the spirit of her ancestors in order to ask for protection for her cattle, healings, advice for the future, and better pastures. She does it with a drum, which scares away demons and keeps the channel free from negative influences.
There are specific signals for shamans. It is something that you inherit from previous generations. There are signals that tell you that someone is a shaman, such as fainting for no reason when you are very young.
In order to be a shaman, you have to get the gift from heaven. It is very difficult to understand this if you don't understand shamanism. The rituals require precision and a concordance with the rhythms of nature.
It goes by the lunar calendar. Every odd day, 1, 3, 5, 7, until the 15th calendar day, you can carry out shaman rituals. And if someone comes after the lunar calendar, it is very difficult to predict his or her fortune. It's like seeing something through a black cloud. But in the first 15 days, it is as easy as seeing something in a sunlit day.
And with the appropriate symbolic dress, complete with boots, she gives us a ritual sacred dance that ends when she goes into a trance and thus begins her trip to the next world. Deep in the steppes, near Setserleg, we find one of Mongolia's natural reserves, the surroundings of Lake Turkhin, Sakhan Nur. The Orgo mountain is an extinct volcano 2,240 meters high. It forms a natural park near the lake that is one of the most beautiful and virgin parts of the country. It is ideal for activities such as trekking, fishing, horseback riding, boating, and climbs up the volcano to finish off in a tourist ger base camp. We are now in the Altai Mountains in western Mongolia, near the Russian border. Faithful to their identity, their traditions, and their Muslim religion, the only Kazakh community in the country welcomes us warmly. Halamiya Nutar is Kazakh. He's a doctor, and he lives in the province of Hold with his wife and children. He also practices falconry with eagles, as his Turkish ancestors did more than 2,000 years ago. He trains her in the summer, reducing her intake of food as winter approaches and as her instincts become more acute and she begins to hunt. Of the 8 birds he uses to hunt, he prefers the golden eagle, the female, because she's more aggressive and larger than the male, capable of spotting a rabbit 2 kilometers away.
Of course, you have to have certain abilities, but it is basically inherited from your ancestors, parents, and grandparents. Us Kazakhs have a great falconry tradition, and we hand it down generation to generation.
They hunt rabbits, foxes for their precious fur, and even wolves.
The truth is that eagles live for a long time, but people keep them for 30 years. I personally keep them for 5 or 6 years. I've had this eagle in particular for 3 years. When they turn 5 or 6, they can reproduce, and I return them to nature.
Later on, he returns to the Gyurt with his family, proud of his talent. A few kilometers away from Hovd, an important archaeological site can be found, the Senerin Cave, where we have had the privilege of observing valuable caveman paintings, dating back 40,000 years. It's got beautiful passageways 18 meters high that require good flashlights and hiking boots. In the province of Hovd, we find a sample of this country's traditional music, which includes a large variety of instruments and singing styles, the most famous of which is the renowned male kumi, or Mongolian throat singing.
Throat singing is an art that consists in controlling both the throat and respiration. There are 21 different types of singing, and 4 of them are popular in Mongolia. We get people from France and Japan who come to learn this type of singing.
This technique consists of being able to sing simultaneously 2 or more musical notes. These pure tones sound like flutes playing above the voice. This incredible singing style has its roots in Central Asia and has been practiced by Mongols and Tuvas. They use this form of singing to resonate with the nature that surrounds them, imitating the sounds of animals, of the wind in the snow-capped mountains, and of many birds.